and first esteemed guest, Mr. K.K. Sharma, the advisor to UT Administrator, fellow secretaries from other state governments, captains from the industry, IT professionals, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to speak on the customary welcome address, where one gets an opportunity to welcome all the dignitaries and the invitees, has also outlined the agenda for the conference. Chandigarh is a beautiful city, and those who are coming from outside Chandigarh, I'm sure will get an opportunity to see the city as well as the areas around. It's a privilege for me to first of all extend a welcome to Mr. J. Satyanarayana, Secretary, Department of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. When I broached the subject with him in order to request him to be with us on this event, he said, "Can you only give me 5 minutes to check my schedule?" And exactly in 4 minutes, he got back to me to say, "I'm coming." Sir, thank you so much for such a prompt response and being here with us. When we planned this conference, Mr. P.K. Chaudhary had proceeded on leave. S.C. Chaudhary, the moment I mentioned to him, as a matter of fact, he had a program of leaving for Delhi today. He said, "What is the time frame?" I said, "Sir, minimum 4 noon, and if you can extend it beyond it." He said, "You will have to bear with me till 4 noon. I'll adjust all my programs." Welcome to you, sir, and thank you so much for being with us. I also had an occasion to talk to some of my colleagues across, some of the sponsors. As a matter of fact, elects is a co-organizer of this conference along with the Department of Information Technology, Haryana. And I had an opportunity to talk to some of them. If I may make a special mention, the moment I mentioned to Rajesh, Secretary IT Maharashtra, as a matter of fact, he called me first. He wanted me to be a part of his event, which he was organizing in Bombay. It was very hard for me to tell him that I won't be able to come, but you come over here. But Rajesh, really very nice of you to have made it and be here with us. We have IT professionals here. We have the practitioners here. I welcome all of you to this event. The focus of this event, as we deliberated on, and having seen some of these conferences, we thought that no useful purpose would be served in learning if we packed too much in too tight a schedule. The tendency, if in the conferences, that if you take 10 topics, each one speaks for about 10-15 minutes, the ideas, and it gets fizzled out. So we looked at it that in this time, when the state has given a serious thought to electronic delivery of citizen services and also taken a policy decision on establishment of CSCs as a convergence model, and the theme, as Mr. J. Satyanarayana talks about, that is service transactions and his ETAL statistics which he collects throughout the country, we thought that we'll focus only on this and various dimensions of it. That was the reason that if you look at the whole agenda for the 2-day conference, it is basically on common service centers, whether the common service centers are delivering the purpose for which these were set up, how to make these more agile, how to bring in various line department services in an integrated mode so that these can be seamlessly delivered through these physical front offices, which we refer to as the CSCs. How to use data and manage data, which is the basis for delivery of these services. How to take care of core IT infrastructure for enabling these CSCs to be operational. What should be our mandate and how we should keep designing these CSCs in a 10-year perspective. So this is broadly the whole spectrum of discussions, presentations which has been structured in this conference on the single theme. Because eventually what we realize that the departments may not have as many physical front offices and windows to deliver the citizens as is the outreach of the citizens, particularly the rural citizen, where the digital device is more prominent and marked. The idea for organizing this conference is to learn from those of our colleagues who have done wonderfully well in their states. We have just made a humble beginning. As a matter of fact, we made a beginning way back in 2007-8, failed somewhere, failed on account of certain things, learned lessons from those failures. And the idea now is that to assess whatever scheme we have now formulated, whether we are in the right direction and how we can improvise on it in order to optimally deliver these services to the citizens. We look forward to exchange of ideas, knowledge. We look forward to the industry in providing the technical support, the IT professionals deliberating on how to go about making the whole transaction seamless. Having said that, I'm sure that the deliberations during this two-day conference would indeed be rewarding. I once again extend a very warm welcome to all of you. The Chief Minister has already landed and we got the directions from him that we can start and he should be reaching here any moment. Therefore, in order to catch up with time, we thought we'll make this beginning. Thank you and welcome to you all once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experiences. I now request Shri S.C. Chaudhary ji, Chief Secretary, Government of Haryana, for his address. Please.
My predecessor and batchmate, Mr. P.K. Chaudhary. And I'm lucky that I have another batchmate of mine, Satyanarayana, Secretary IT, Government of India, Mr. K.K. Sharma, Mr. Yudhir Malik, my colleagues from Haryana and other states, and friends. And Yudhir invited me for this conference. I was a bit hesitant because I am an IT illiterate person. Apart from receiving and sending SMSs on telephone and maybe reading newspaper on iPad, I have no other experience with IT, but I thought कि जैसे आप बाग के पास से गुजरते ही थोड़ी खुशबू आ जाती है, तो likewise if I come here, something will enter my blank mind. I might be benefited. Further, I could not refuse Yudhir because after getting his training from Mr. P.K. Chaudhary, his first posting was with me. So he has a right on me. He gets hold of me anyway, whenever he likes, and places me anywhere he feels like. So I'm very happy that Mr. P.K. Chaudhary and J. Satyanarayana, they are here. They have great experience in IT. Satya is an IT wizard, all of you know. And the IT policy of Haryana government was framed by Mr. P.K. Chaudhary in the year 1999 or 2000. So both of them are very pioneers, and I'm very honored to be with them on this occasion. State of Haryana has taken many initiatives in IT sectors. I will narrate just few of them. We are the first state in the country to implement SWAN project in the year 2008. The STC has been set up, and 18 applications of various departments and e-district projects have already been hosted on the data center. The state service delivery gateway project is also being implemented with the cost of 10.92 crores. Having faced a number of problems in certain areas, we have been continuously amending our policies, trying to come up with the mark with the changing situations, because it's a dynamic world. Situations change every moment. 80% of the state residents have already been enrolled in UID. The state government has notified a comprehensively revised communication and connectivity infrastructure policy 2013 in order to pave the way for establishment and augmentation of telecom and connectivity infrastructure in the state. The government has only recently entered into a tripartite MOU with the Department of Telecommunications, Government of India, and BBNL for establishment of national optical fiber network throughout the state in order to expand the outreach of connectivity and provide last mile connectivity to each of the Gram Panchayats. The Government of India has allocated state jurisdiction of Haryana to BSNL for this purpose. One of the most important uses of IT which the state intends to make is establishing citizen service centers. We have recognized the need for expanding the outreach of service delivery points. The Honorable Chief Minister has approved a rather ambitious CSC scheme which has been notified last month. These CSCs are envisaged to be established following a private enterprise business model under the brand name Haryana eSeva. Keeping in view that financial viability of the CSC is critical for the success of the initiative, it has been designed with a convergence model of G2C and B2C services. It is envisaged to establish a total of 2,500 CSCs in the state over a period of next 3 years. I'm happy to share that the sites of more than 200 of these CSCs have already been identified by the respective deputy commissioners. This project follows a private entrepreneurship business model in line with the approach envisaged by the Government of India. This has been recognized as one of the basic IT infrastructure components under the National E-Governance Plan. The ESDH at the state level is providing hand-holding and advisory services to the district IT societies for this purpose. I am happy to note that the theme of this conference involves concept of CSCs. We expect a good deal of learning from other states because every state has been trying to make efforts differently. We are in fact islands of excellence in different states. The idea is to share each other's experiences and learn from them and try to improve our systems. I hope this seminar will provide a good forum for this kind of knowledge exchange and knowledge integration. Honorable Chief Minister is slightly late, and in absentia I am grateful to him for sparing his valuable time. We have a cabinet meeting after this. I wish all the success for this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for being so humble. I would also request Shri J. Satyanarayana, Secretary, Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, to deliver his keynote address. Please, sir.
Advisor to the Government of Haryana, Shri P.K. Chaudhary, Chief Secretary, Shri S.C. Chaudhary, and Yudhvir Malik, all the distinguished participants, delegates. It's really my pleasure and privilege to be here to share some of my thoughts at this conference. And it's significant that this conference is completely devoted to the one single theme, that is the common service centers, so that at the end of the conference we have better understanding of the issues and possible solutions to that. Generally, in several other conferences, each session is dedicated, speakers are running after different themes, and it is good that there is a singular focus on the CSCs here. So the CSC scheme, I think, is important in the sense that the proof of the pudding is in eating, as they say. The entire delivery, as far as citizen is concerned, happens at this point. It is the single most important touch point to the citizen as far as e-governance services, e-services are concerned. Now let me spend a few minutes on, what we're trying to achieve through this. Where is the place of a CSC in the whole gamut of things? It goes back, I think, to the principles of good governance. If we really aspire for establishing good governance, it is about least governance, meaning that the citizen will have to touch the government offices as little as possible. It's about participative governance, that citizen has a say in various matters that happen. And it is about inclusive governance, that the people at the bottom of the pyramid are also able to get the services as any other person who is literate, who is illiterate, who has access. So CSC plays, I think, a key role in all these three principles of good governance. So that's why it's very important. It brings citizen centricity to the whole approach. I would like to see this also from another angle. That is, when you talk of service delivery and managing the service delivery system, it is not something new that we are trying to do for the last few years because IT is there. Traditionally, different approaches have been there, and the earliest known is the grievance-based approach or complaint-based, request-based approach. From the days immemorial, the system of holding darbars and receiving complaints, then trying to see what is the problem and trying to solve, and problem-solving method, complaint method. The second is a policing method, meaning that something wrong has happened and you are trying to intervene and investigate, prosecute, and make it an activity like that. So policing based. Third is rights based, of late in the last 10 years, whether it is RTI, right to services, right to education, right to health, and so on. That you are creating a fundamental right in the citizen, and then it is for the citizenry to pursue that and take it as a weapon. And the fourth approach, which I recommend and I like most, and I have been preaching and teaching and talking about it, doing it, is the reforms-based approach, where you are not looking at the problem after it has arisen, you are looking at the system and trying to see how you can prevent it before problems occur. So overhaul the system such that the scope for and the need for grievance, the need for policing, the the needs for right-based is either eliminated or reduced. So that is the most sustainable, most satisfying and most desirable, most democratic way of functioning for a government. So I think e-governance definitely has a place in that, because it's fundamentally reforms based. E-governance, just putting computers is not e-governance. It is about transforming the fundamental process of governance and then using IT to enable that. So in that sense, I think this is a sustainable solution to the problems that affect various systems of governance. Now, how do you transform? Where do you begin? Where do you go? There are two typical approaches again. One is front end, repairing the front end, improving the front end delivery system. It is good. I am not saying it in the negative sense. Projects like eSeva and eSampark here in Chandigarh, with which most of people present here may be familiar. The idea was that you have a nice ambience in the front end, connect with the back end and deliver the services through that front end, so that the contact with the government offices is eliminated. The other approach is a back end based. Several projects were there where you also do some kind of reorganization in the back end, automation of the back end and so on. Ideal here is again a combination of these two. You repair or transform both the front end as well as back end together. And there are very good examples of that. And one project in which a few people in this room, I would say, under the leadership of Yuthvir here, I had the privilege to work with him. The MCA 21 project, we have Sumantra also and others who participated in that project, where there was a front end which was totally a different ambience, different service levels, and a back end which was completely automated in terms of the workflow and no paper situation. Like Passport Seva, there are several other examples where a holistic approach is taken of the service delivery and end-to-end basis, front end to back end is revamped. So that is the ideal to have today. Now, this again calls for a tremendous effort on the process re-engineering. Unless you re-engineer the process, you just put old wine in new bottle, it will not make a difference except, utilizing your budget on computers and networks and servers and so on. So it is the process transformation, process re-engineering that is fundamental to. Even before we buy one computer, we must look at process reforms. I'm happy that my friend and colleague PK Chaudhary is here, is charged with the responsibility of reforms. I think that is fundamental. If you want to do a radical change, you want to create an impact on the people, it's very important to change the process first. And I have told elsewhere that there are 6 things that one needs to do, either of or combination of them. First is eliminate a process, eliminate a sub-process, cut out unnecessary stuff, unnecessary forms, unnecessary columns, simplify, standardize, automate, integrate, and provide self-service. So these 6 principles are fundamental. Are we able to ingrain them in all our process, whether it is land records, which we are doing? Today, it needs the initial of so many people or click of so many people to get a land record. Why should it be so? It questions the process. The need for such long-winded process. Cut out unnecessary thing and keep only whatever is the bare bones that is required to deliver that service. So these principles of BPR or process engineering are very, very important for each department. Before they go online, they should do that. Otherwise, it's like, just giving a new color to an old building without changing the functionality. Now with this, of course, let me just mention that the Government of India has started this National E-Governance Plan in 2006, and 31 mission mode projects have been started, and CSCs is one of them. The common service centers, why is it called common service centers? I was trying to analyze, though there is no written explanation of that. But my own meaning is, and that's very important, that we talk about it today, and so many departments are participating here. Common service center, common from the citizen's perspective, that for anything and everything, you can go to that center. Common from the perspective of the various departments, that if I want to deliver any service, this is the only channel. This is the funnel through which all the services should flow. So from both sides it's common. And also it is common to a variety of services, whether it is G2B, G2C or B2C or whatever combination of services. So it's common. If you have to justify the title Common Service Center, we have to do all this. That kind of integration, all departments should feel that this is mine. It's not IT department's asset alone. It is a convenient way of fanning out our services to the public at their doorstep. Now, a mention has been made of we have today 1.28 lakh CSCs in this country, across the length and breadth of the country, including those which were started before CSCs were conceived, like eSeva, eSampark, etc., have been subsumed today into one program, which is the CSC program, out of which unfortunately only 63,000, which is roughly 50%, are only delivering the services online. We have an online tracking system which has been mentioned earlier about eThal. Only half of them are connected and appear to be delivering services. So this is a matter of concern. Why is it so many CSCs do exist on paper and not still deliver any service? That is an idea that's an aspect that needs to be explored, discussed, and we need to find ways and means of improving the situation. And one more statistic I would like to give is these CSCs across the country are delivering approximately 60 lakh transactions every month. 60 lakh transactions every month, which is not good enough. In a country with 120 crore people, is a drop in the ocean. So we need to look at this. How can you make it more vibrant, these CSCs, and take the number of transactions level much higher? And one good thing is that Haryana is standing fourth in the entire country as far as the number of e-services are delivered are concerned. Through this eThal, we set up a kind of a virtual competition between various states. They look at ethal.gov.in. It's a real time. A transaction happens anywhere in the country, whether through CSC or electronically through other means. It ticks by that number, minute by minute, it enhances. So this eThal has served a very good purpose in setting up competition between comparable states. So in that comparison, Haryana, I'm happy, is at the fourth place. It keeps changing by every day, every month. But as of today, this morning, I saw it is in the fourth position today. And I must compliment the officers present here. But it is only, my assumption is, they have done 63 lakh transactions in Jan and February till now, in these 5 weeks. It is not enough. It should have probably 10 times more transactions are possible. Today, land records, such an important, large requirement for the citizens, is not yet on eThal so much. Several large health services, education services, they are not there yet on the eThal in Haryana. So effort should be to put, my appeal to all the officers and departments and other industry members present here is, take it as a fulcrum, take it as a goal that how many am I able to push through to join the eThal, and thereby the back end everything gets done. Then only you can join with eThal. So there is a consequential back pressure on producing that extra element of reform and convenience to the citizens. Now the challenges I would for CSCs, some are doing 5,000 transactions a month. If you just analyze the eThal, you will very clearly see that 5,000 transactions a month they are doing, meaning almost 200 transactions every working day, versus 4 to 5 transactions per month, which is as if it is closed. So we need to analyze this asymmetry of the transactions happening. Then anytime, anywhere you say, but some are doing better, some are doing less. So where it is doing less, probably the G2C services in those states are not put online and in a manner that can be delivered through the CSCs. Sometimes there is a parallel mechanism, though there is a CSC next door to the government office, they give the services only in the government offices, not let the CSC give those for some peculiar reasons of compulsion in that department. So we need to look at that. We need to break that kind of a reservation in going to the CSCs. Then as far as the perspective is concerned, I would of course be back in the session in the afternoon, in the concluding session of today's proceedings. What is going to be the future for CSCs? Let me not try to spend more time on this at this point, but except to I think we have the Honorable Chief Minister arriving here this time. On behalf of all of us, I extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Chief Minister of Haryana. So I would like to, in one sentence, as the Honorable Chief Minister has arrived, let me again reiterate one point, that the Haryana today stands fourth in the whole country in terms of the number of e-transactions delivered and reported to the online system, and I must compliment. But it is only tip of the iceberg. We can do 10 times more and serve the citizens in a better, more convenient and efficient manner. But being fourth in the country, I think is something really creditable at this point. I would like to thank the entire government of Haryana for this purpose. So without taking much more time than this, I look forward to very active discussions, deliberations, which will throw more light on the challenges faced by the CSCs and finding some lasting solutions for the CSC program. And also I wish the government of Haryana all the best in their ambitious project of village information system, which is being created to introduce vibrancy in the way the CSCs function here. And I wish them all the best, and support of Government of India can be taken for granted in this particular aspect. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. I take this opportunity now to extend a formal welcome to the Honorable Chief Minister Haryana. We are aware that you were keen to be here much before time, and you were held up in Delhi airport because of the traffic congestion. You can take off, but thank you so much for making it straight over here and in time, sir. Mr. S.C. Chaudhary and Mr. Desaf Narayana, Secretary Government of India, has already spoken about it. I am aware that while one could draw some satisfaction of having fourth position in the country in terms of transaction of services, you don't feel satisfied anything below number one. We will certainly strive to go back. The CSC scheme which you have approved and which you have notified, I'm sure will go with the implementation and execution of that scheme sooner than later, and the number of services and transactions for the citizens in electronic mode would increase substantially as we go along with this. With these words now, may I now request the Honorable Chief Minister to give us his blessings and deliver his inaugural address. Sir, can you please?
Forms J. Satyanarayana, Secretary Government of India, Department of Electronics and Information, S.C. Chaudhary, Chief Secretary, Haryana, Y.S. Malik, Additional Chief Secretary, Electronics, and IT Department, Haryana, Mr. Ravi Gupta, MD and CEO, Elite Technomedia, and the co-organizer of this conference, senior officers from other states, captains from the industry and sponsors of this conference, IT professionals, ladies, gentlemen, and members of the media. It gives me great pleasure to speak before this august gathering on the occasion of eHaryana event, being jointly organized by Government of Haryana and Elite Technomedia Private Limited. I understand that the initiative has been taken by state's IT department after a long time. It is indeed gratifying to note that this forum has brought together key stakeholders from the Government of India and different states and representatives from ICT industry who have been playing a seminal role in furtherance of governance initiatives. Friends, speakers before me have already spoken at length on the relevance of information and communication technology and theme of the conference. We are already today recognized as the largest and a stable democracy in which the citizen holds the central stage. Information and communication technology has become a part of our day-to-day life with overall economic progress. The huge young population of India constitutes largest user of ICT, proliferation of mobile communication, with close to 90 crore subscribers over a period of last 10 years, has been a silent but perhaps the most visible revolution of the century, greater than even advent of radio and or television. The poorest of the poor is today connected with mobile telephony across all walks of life. As a result, the citizen is much more aware that this awareness has been given a very compelling and natural rise to expectations. One of the most well-recognized citizen expectation relates to good governance. We cannot deny that some undesirable practices have crept in the system, which have also led to increased dissatisfaction among the citizens as service seekers. The effective role of ICT in meeting the citizen expectation through a e-governance has been recognized as a potent alternative, and its efficiency has been proved universally without any doubt. Successful e-governance initiatives have substantially reduced the physical interface between the service seekers and the service providers on the one hand, and reduced the discretion, introduced speed and transparency in delivery of citizen service on the other. Shri J. Satyanarayana spoke about the National E-Governance Plan and the initiative taken by the government. I would like to draw attention of this august gathering to the need for good governance, because herein lies the foundation for moving towards any successful attempts at e-governance. This requires a whole lot of dedication and commitment on the part of our administrative machinery to relook at existing practices, redesign and reorient our system of governance so as to make it more responsive and accountable to the citizen. We need to drive out the complexities of processes and simplify the same. It has always been my endeavor to provide that space to my officers to innovate and work for larger citizen satisfaction. There are a number of challenges in this journey to switch over to adoption of ICT in providing good governance, be it on account of lack of engineering of our archaic practice, be it on account of lack of required enthusiasm among the administrative machinery, be it on the account of infrastructure or capacity constraints, or be it on the account of current digital divide where a large part of the population is still not the direct ICT user. But we are on the right track to address each one of these constraints and challenges. One of the stated objectives of the eHaryana event is to exchange knowledge on the use of ICT for bringing about more efficiency and transparency in governance with a special focus on e-enabled service delivery to the people. I am happy to note that the concept of successful common service center, that is CSC, is at the central stage of this conference. It is my strong belief that the delivery of citizen service through the network of CSCs would not only help in bridging the current digital divide, but also create a demand for irresistible pressure from the citizen on the government machinery to incrementally enrich the basket of services that could be delivered in electronic mode. Eventually, this pressure will drive us to move faster. Success of CSC model as an effective medium of service delivery has already been recognized and well established in a few states. Taking to these developments, the IT department of Haryana has already developed an integration platform known as IVISS, which has been used in a pilot CSC and which I am sure they would be presenting during this conference. It is based on this model that the state worked on its CSC scheme, which has already been notified for implementation across state. But I am sure the success of CSC would also be significantly dependent upon automation of back-end processes of each and every department and their successful integration with IVISS platform. The line departments have come to Howard and take complete ownership of these initiatives in this behalf. I may also touch upon another dimension of e-governance. We started at a small scale with isolated stand-alone applications. There is nothing wrong with that approach, as every beginning starts like that. However, we have reached a stage where this is not going to meet citizens' expectation. Every application that has developed now must meet the end-to-end cycle of service delivery in electronic mode. Even one or two manual interventions in this cycle defeat the very purpose and adversely impact the intended outcomes. We cannot afford such a situation any longer. It goes without saying that the ICT industry has a very critical role in providing technology support and in implementation of number of success stories. While Haryana has done rather well in the promotion of IT industry through its proactive policy, and Gurgaon has emerged as the IT hub, I am not in a position to say that the same about the local IT industry support in adoption of ICT in governance to that extent. No doubt, they are in the business of developing and providing IT solutions, but I leave it as a thought with them if they would also consider coming forward and taking at least one application each as a part of their CSR initiatives for the larger public good. The state of Haryana has achieved enviable success in overall economic growth and is acclaimed for its achievements. It is thus natural that we make use of latest technology tools to improve governance mechanism in the state. I am sure that the exchange of ideas in this conference would be fruitful and help in delineating a more aggressive roadmap towards fulfillment of our intended objectives. I commend the organizers for organizing this event. Thank them for inviting me to share my views and I wish the conference all success. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate the time and effort you have taken out for our endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the Honorable CM, the visionary who has taken the state of Haryana to new heights in socio-economic and ICT development. On the occasion of eHaryana, a special issue of eGov magazine focusing on ICT initiatives in Haryana is being brought out. The issue highlights the exemplary work by various stakeholders, the institutions, companies and government departments that have contributed similarly to the growth of e-governance in the state of Haryana. I now request Honorable Chief Minister and other dignitaries on the dais to inaugurate the release of a special issue of eGov magazine. I would now request Shri Y.S. Malik ji to present a token of her appreciation to the Honorable Chief Minister and other dignitaries. I now request Dr. Ravi Gupta, CEO, LX Techno Media Private Limited, to kindly felicitate Shri Y.S. Malik ji and deliver his vote of thanks.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here at the eHaryana event, which is a momentous occasion for the state. I would like to place on record our appreciation for the Honorable CM and other dignitaries on the dais who have attended this event and encouraged the whole ICT sector by their presence. And it is a just to inform you that this whole event has been conceptualized by the Department of IT, Government of Haryana and HARTRON, and HAFET, Aadhaar, and various other government agencies have supported it. The state partners have been Government of Maharashtra, the Chandigarh IT department, and the J&K IT agency. And the presenting sponsors are the United Health Group, and our other partners have been Vakarangi, Rico, Juniper, Accenture, CA, IBM, Wipro, Nixie, Nilec, EDB, Quicksheet, and many other IT organizations who are all active in Haryana or looking at investing in Haryana in its ICT endeavors. With this, I place on record again appreciation of all the attendees who have taken time and effort from Haryana and outside Haryana who are attending this event. Wishing you all a great 2 day of knowledge exchange and sharing of ideas. Thank you so much.
Now I request the Honorable Chief Minister to kindly inaugurate the eHaryana Expo, and also request the dignitaries on the dais to accompany the Honorable CM on this occasion.
बाहर